Welcome, everybody. I'm Tim Groh. I'm the current Trident United Way board chair. We're so excited to have you. This process has been 2 years in the making. COVID knocked us down, but it didn't knock us out. So we're resilient. I think when we started planning this, I think Feetwood, you were in high school, right? I mean, so we have a terrific program planned for you today. On behalf of the board of directors, thank you for being with us. Each of us has a personal story about why we're connected with Trident United Way. For some, it comes from volunteering, wanting to make a difference with our hearts and our hands. For me, it's a little bit more personal. My mother and I benefited from support organizations that United Way supports when I was younger, so I certainly have an affinity for it. We have some incredible leaders in this room today. I'm humbled to be here. Your thought leadership is inspiring, and your willingness to share and inspire others makes our community stronger. Serving a community is not possible without strong support. Trident United Way and its network of partners cannot move forward without your philanthropic alignment with us. Forever United Committee chairs Larry and Judy Tarleton will talk more about how your investments are creating real impact across the region. We look back at our history, we wouldn't be here celebrating this anniversary without the early and close relationship with Rotary and generations of Rotarians. Our founders of the original community in Worcester, Charleston, shared the bond of being local Rotarians. The social DNA of these founders goes on forever and is woven throughout our community, as they were also founders and leaders of the Charleston County Library, the YMCA, our Masonic lodges, faith institutions, the Charleston Museum, Historic Charleston Foundation, Ashley Hall, Charleston Symphony Orchestra, the Chamber of Commerce, and the list goes on. To our current and former board members and committee members here today, please stand so we can thank you for your involvement and support. Wow. We have some other people, unique people who are making today memorable. Frank Wooten was heard playing the piano. Some might recognize Frank as a former Post and Courier journalist. He can also be heard playing at the Thoroughbred Club downtown. We are pleased to recognize our Forever United sponsors. Without their sponsorship, this event would not be possible. Aston Johnson, Life Cycle Engineering, Bank of South Carolina, Dixon Hughes Goodman, Select Health of South Carolina, Showa Denko, and Sonopar USA. So you know, we haven't spent a dime on this besides their sponsorship, so we're trying to pour our support back into the community. How about the balloon decorations? Are you kidding me? I mean, Chad Woodson of Balloon Therapy for his contributions to the program, it's remarkable. And at the back of the room, if you want to be humbled, go spend a few minutes strolling down memory lane with some of our honorees. The Trident United Way staff created a wonderful display that includes memories and highlights honoring our 4 life directors' contributions to our community. Additionally, there is a display to thank our Forever United committee members who made this event possible. If you've not had a chance to look, I encourage you to do so. We also have a program. Hopefully you'll follow with us. It's each of your place settings. As you can see, we have an incredible group of leaders you will hear from today, along with 4 very special people who will be honored. I mentioned our Rotary connection earlier today, making this the perfect time to introduce the president of our Rotary Club of Charleston, Reverend Rob Dewey. Reverend Dewey has a heart for serving others. When tough times have struck, Reverend Dewey has been there to serve as both chaplain and friend. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Rob Dewey.
As organized as this group is, they send anybody that gets this podium, they get an outline of how long you have. I've got 1 minute, so I've already wasted 5 seconds. But to God be the glory. Great things he has done. I mean, this what a vision this was, and to be president of the Rotary Club now and to be able to share in this wonderful event. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here this day. And I personally have had a lot of folks that I have ministered to through the years go through the services. And it's only gotten so much better, especially in the last 5 years. So thanks, Mrs. Chairman, CEO, whatever. Now I know I have 40 seconds, but I don't pray long. And but it's gotten so much better, and the collaboration that you may not know about between agencies is so wonderful. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we do give you thanks. my goodness, for over 70 years. You've blessed this organization, called people out, called people together to make our community even better. And as we continue to make it better, we thank you for those that are here today that have had a vision and still have a vision that we can do with you leading us. We thank you for the leadership, the staff, the volunteers, and then we thank you for those that fix this meal for us today, and so that we can go out and do the mission that you've called us to do. In your holy and blessed name we pray. Amen.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Tim. I'm Feetwood Hassell. I'm President and CEO of the Bank of South Carolina and past board chair for your Trident United Way. And no, I'm not here to talk about the Federal Reserve and monetary policy, but afterwards, if you would like. Rather, I just want to say what an honor it is to be with all of you to celebrate this milestone event. And as a Trident United Way volunteer for more than 30 years, I want to personally thank each and every one of you for your time, your dedication, and your generosity. I would like to take a moment to welcome and recognize family members and relatives of the Trident United Way founders and early leaders that are present at today's event. As some of you may know, Henry C. Tecklenburg was one of Trident United Way's 8 founders. And we're pleased to have with us today the Honorable John Tecklenburg, Mayor of the City of Charleston, who is the grandson of Henry Tecklenburg. John? The mayor is a true champion for the Trident United Way employee campaign with the City of Charleston. And it's great to see Peter Tecklenburg. Our Charleston County Auditor is Henry Tecklenburg's great nephew. Peter has served on our nominating committee. He has served on our cabinet committee, the campaign cabinet committee, and is currently serving on our board of directors. Peter, are you with us today? There you are. And I'd also like to give a warm welcome to Bill Scarborough III. His father, Yancey Scarborough Sr., was one of the organization's early pioneers who served as chair of the board of directors in 1948, and was one of the first campaign chairs. And our friend Bill then followed his footsteps half a century later. Bill Scarborough. And we're pleased to have family members of another founder, Hugh C. Lane Sr. Here with us today is Hugh Lane Jr. and his wife, Croft Lane, Hugh Lane III and his fiancée, Carol Joslin. You'll hear more about the Lane family involvement in Trident United Way a little bit later. Again, thank you all being here with us to mark this milestone today. On a more personal note, it's a pleasure to see my friend from the Bank of South Carolina, Hugh Lane, receive such a high honor as part of today's program. And to the other lifetime directors, Nella Barkley, Anita Zucker, and Charles Patrick, my admiration goes out to each one of you as well. So this is a momentous occasion, so much that the Governor, Henry Mastert, has declared this Trident United Way Day. There you'll see a framed proclamation from the governor, and I quote from it, Trident United Way serves as the backbone entity for community-wide work, bringing organizations and sectors together to solve complex issues that no single organization may solve alone. Put another way, that service and complex issue solving means there are multitudes of committed and talented individuals working together for the greater good of our region. Simply put, ladies and gentlemen, that means you. The governor continues that today is Trident United Way Day as he acknowledged, quote, its unique and exceptional contributions with significant impact for the benefit of South Carolinians in the Tri-County area through exemplary leadership and partnership that place opportunities in the hands of South Carolinians. Ladies and gentlemen, from our generation and historic ties to the Rotary Club of Charleston, to expansions of service throughout the Tri-County area, it's been an exciting time of service. We have a great program planned, and as a businessman myself, I can't wait to learn a thing or two from our life directors. Now please relax and enjoy the wonderful meal before us. And as I draw your attention to the screen, we have a video to share that includes special reflections on the significance of Trident United Way's work. Thank you and enjoy.
To work, I was in a district office, and they had somebody from United Way come in, somebody from the company, and they did the old typical employee campaign thing. So I signed up for $5 a week or whatever it was. I don't even remember the time, So that I just got started young, but it was expected.
When I was there, which was over 30 years ago, the primary focus of United Way was, first of all, to wage a successful campaign and raise as much money as possible, because our big thrust was to be supportive of the agencies that needed financial and obviously all support, but finances were huge.
If you had a company in Charleston and you owned a company like my family did, or like the Thornhill family did, or the Hankel family did, or the Newton family did. You just go on and on and on, all these family companies. They used to put your name in the paper and your company and sort of how you stacked up with everybody else, and it was a sort of a sense of pride.
It's interesting now that the United Way in 30 plus years is so much more involved in the leadership and the collaborative efforts for problem solving in the whole Tri-County community. To be involved in initiatives, to be able to really isolate that education and health and financial stability is, I think, that are so important.
I just think the impact of Trident United Way is, of course, investing in organizations and running its own initiatives, but I think really convening other groups together and really bringing the community together around single issues and focus on a single vision and a clear mission.
I mean, anytime you participate in one of the community-wide Day of Caring, you can't leave without feeling the magnitude of what you've been a part of, and I do think that events like that are really eye-opening for people and very meaningful.
So this is a growing region in terms of population. We have people moving here all the time. You drive down any street, you see a new subdivision being built. So you've got people moving into the area who don't know about the Trident region, who don't know about the disparities and the inequities, who don't know about the opportunities to become involved and support some of the work that's happening. So I think Trident United Way has a great opportunity to be a welcoming center for new neighbors and new residents, and to help really build and continue to build the support networks in this community.
That goal, that simple goal of helping people, but then that sort of fairly massive plan to look across the entire community. I just feel like the Trident United Way is the singular organization that's doing that.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Great. Our first speaker is one of those persons who does not need an introduction. He is an exemplar. He is extremely well known. Should have had my eyeglasses on. He has earned his place in our history, and the title that most know him by is Mayor Riley. I had the pleasure of working with him as the first executive director of the Mayor's Office and Commission for Children, Youth, and Families. Joseph P. Riley Jr. is a fifth-generation Charlestonian who has been here only a tiny bit longer than Trident United Way. Leadership and service are two words that easily describe him. A Citadel graduate, he served 6 years in the South Carolina House of Representatives and then turned his attention to the mayor's office. Starting in 1975, he served an astounding 40 years. That makes him one of the longest-serving mayors in United States history. Mayor Joe applied his attention to detail in everything he has done. He led efforts to expand the park system, develop more affordable housing, and revitalize historic downtown into the jewel it is now. Collaborating with him at the city, his vision for the Mayor's Office and Commission for Children, Youth, and Families was to improve access and service delivery for those in need. Many other southern cities replicated this model. Mayor Riley brought the community together during some extraordinary times as we have evolved from a sleepy southern town to a universally sought-after destination for tourists, corporations, and future residents. Mayor Joe's awards and honors would fill an entire program. His support of Trident United Way is only one aspect of his community involvement. He has served as a past board chair and previous leader of the campaign cabinet. Mayor Riley continues to serve today as a professor at his alma mater, the Citadel, and also at the College of Charleston. He is a champion for the International African American Museum, as you all well know. The mayor is a busy gentleman, so we will utilize technology to hear from him today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Joseph P. Riley, Jr.
It is with great pride that I join all of you today to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Trident United Way. This milestone is an affirmation of the joy of giving and the good that grows from the collective work of countless generous citizens. It is so very proud. I attended my first Trident United Way fundraising meeting more than 50 years ago. It was an early morning meeting, as most are. As I got into my car to head to my office afterwards, I realized I felt wonderful. I was so invigorated, and the reason was that I just spent my time raising money for a worthwhile cause. Like my father taught me by example, giving generously feels good, whether the gift is of your time or your financial support. The Charleston community has always been there to help our fellow citizens. The spirit of generosity is what sets our region apart and makes Charleston a place we're proud to call home. Some years ago, the Trident United Way, through an extensive strategic planning process, established 3 focuses of philanthropy: education, financial stability, and health. Today, we honor 4 community heroes, the inaugural class of life directors of Trident United Way: Nella Barkley, Hugh Lane Jr., Charles Patrick Jr., and Anita Zucker. We honor them for their generosity, their commitment, and wisdom directed to the benefit of the citizens of our community. I congratulate each of them, and I congratulate the Trident United Way. And I congratulate and celebrate the countless generous citizens who brought us to this milestone moment. Since 1944, Trident United Way and its partners have improved the lives of millions. Here's to helping millions more in the years to come. Congratulations.
It's a pleasure to be here today. This is an amazing room. I'm a little nervous. My name is Wendy Kopp, and I am a Trident United Way Board and Executive Committee member. Our next speaker is Barbara Melvin, who needs no introduction, and I think reading her biography and all of the awards that she has won, I would be here for much longer than her talk. But she is an incredible woman. She is our next speaker, and like Mayor Riley, she's a trailblazer. She is creating history for our community, and she is creating national recognition for Charleston and our port in all the work that she's doing. As the current COO for the South Carolina Ports Authority, she will now step into the role as CEO. This summer, she'll take the helm from our dear friend and longtime supporter, Jim Newsom. She is the first woman to lead a top 10 U.S. container port. We're so excited. 2022 is a milestone year for Barbara as well, as she's moving into her 25th year of service at the port. Her longstanding dedication of operational excellence to the port and her significant contributions to the growth of our port have led her into numerous promotions, her current role, and of course the role she'll take on this summer. Simply put, Barbara is highly qualified and uniquely qualified to take on this role, especially right now when we're going through the turmoil we are and the global commerce situation. We're so happy to have her in this role. Like so many of you, Barbara values philanthropy in our community. She is on several boards, including our beloved United Way. She is the chairperson for the American Heart Association in Charleston. She's on the South Carolina Governor's School of Math and Science. She's a Liberty Fellow, and those are just a few of the things that she's actively participating in at the moment. Her list of honors is even longer. Barbara has won Woman of the Year 3 times at least, Most Influential Woman twice already, and she has been named the 2022 Woman of Courage by the College of Charleston. Barbara, you are an amazing woman, and you are an inspiration to us all. We thank you for your leadership and service to our community. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Barbara Melvin.
So thank you, Wendy, for that kind introduction. I tell people all the time, if you let your mom write your biography, yours would look just like mine. And it would take 15 minutes to get you introduced. I really also have the unenviable position of following Mayor Riley. And the only shot I have is that it was a video. Because if it had been live, there would have been no way. It's such an honor to be with Mayor Riley in this speaking lineup, because I've had the privilege of working with him and learning from him over the many years that I've been in Charleston. Kind of the same as this room. I look around and I think, wow, a lot of you have contributed to my career. Mayor Riley has made such an indelible mark on our city in so many ways. He's shaped downtown into a thriving place full of shops and restaurants and parks that we all enjoy. He spent decades nurturing business growth, supporting job creation, and addressing racial and economic disparities. His legacy is seen throughout Charleston. We're building a legacy too here in Charleston through our work at United Way. As a longtime supporter and active board member, I'm proud to celebrate more than 75 years of Trident United Way making a positive impact on our community. 75 years of improving lives, 75 years of commitment and service, 75 years of making a difference. Trident United Way improves people's lives through education, financial stability, and health initiatives. Together, we work to advance educational outcomes for all students from an early age. Anita, I know that's key for you. We strive to break down barriers to financial stability. We work to ensure access to good health care in our communities, and these issues make a real, measurable impact for people, and particularly for their children. Trident United Way's mission of striving to improve lives aligns with the role that we have at the South Carolina Port and how we do that in our communities. At SC Ports, it's our job to efficiently move cargo for all the companies that we help on a daily basis. We handle vehicles and tires for advanced manufacturers. We move home goods and furniture for global retailers. We export agricultural products for farmers. And we ensure on a daily basis that crucial goods like medicine and food arrive into our communities. We're moving more cargo than we ever have before through the Port of Charleston, and thanks to our maritime community and the dedication that we have had throughout the pandemic, this hard work is paying off. Each container that crosses our docks represents more than the cargo that's inside of it. It represents jobs, it represents economic opportunity, and it represents the current growth of our state and our future successes. Port growth directly correlates to economic growth for our state. As a matter of fact, the port supports 1 in 10 jobs in South Carolina. During my more than 20 years, and I do hate saying that publicly, at the South Carolina port, the Port of Charleston has really transformed into a world-class operation. We just this year became the 8th largest container port in the nation, surpassing Oakland, where we were at number 9. Having a well-run port in South Carolina attracts companies to invest here, such as Volvo, such as others in this room, and our most recent example, Walmart, which created 1,000 jobs in a tiny town called Ridgeville that will have generational impact on Dorchester County. The port attracts businesses to South Carolina, and these companies make a real, measurable difference in our state. Each new facility creates jobs, which then creates investments into our communities as people buy homes and spread that money through local restaurants and shops, and frankly, as we give to our charities. I also see our mission and legacy out on the waterfront. Many of the dock workers and crane operators responsible for moving cargo on and off these ships are part of generations of families who are very proud of the important work that they do. I'm immensely proud of South Carolina Port's role in creating jobs and spurring economic development throughout the state. The tremendous growth of our port positively impacts communities. As the saying says, a rising tide floats all boats. This mindset is also evident throughout Trident United Way's dedication to improving lives and making a difference in our region. It's a great honor to be here with you all today to celebrate what I would say, as they've called port workers essential, what we do together is essential as well. As we look to the future and see our community's needs evolve over time, it's paramount that our region's companies, organizations, and leaders remain committed to meeting the needs of our community. We must all use our resources, talents, and time for the greater good. To those whom much is given, much is expected. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you to Joe and to Barbara for this inspirational messages there. What inspirational people they are. Hello and good afternoon. I'm Larry Tarleton.
I'm Judy Tarleton. We're delighted to see all of you here. Larry and I have spent the last 2 years as committee chairs to plan this event with an outstanding committee of Trident United Way friends. Let's take a moment to recognize the members of the Forever United Committee. Please stand so we can thank you at this time. Henry Blackford, P.J. Browning, David Dunlap, Feetwood Hassell, Bruce Hoffman, Bill Moody, Gretchen Penny, and Jeremy Willits.
Thank you. Thank you. All of you are the key reasons why we love Charleston so much. This room is full of leaders who serve so unselfishly to place opportunities in the hands of others. Harnessing the power of Barbara and Joe, our soon-to-be announced lifetime directors, our corporate leaders, and each of you is truly a united effort. Volunteerism combined with corporate and philanthropic support fuel this public trust that has endured for the past 77 years.
As some of you may know, Larry spent a career as a newspaper man, retiring as the publisher of the Post and Courier. Interestingly, we discovered a quote from a 1925 newspaper story about whether the city needed a community chest. The writer said, "Charleston is a community that gives to charity in a way that works as few cities have done." That quote was prior to United Way's founding. How true it was then and today.
In 1944, a group of Charleston leaders that Feetwood mentioned earlier came together to create the Charleston Community War Chest, which was a forerunner for what is now the Trident United Way. We are so fortunate to have our area's best and brightest giving of their time, leadership, and steady guidance. In that first year, even in the midst of World War II, community members raised nearly $300,000 to help their fellow neighbors. 1969 was the first year that fundraising total hit over $1 million, and the generosity has continued ever since. In 2020, United Way set up a special COVID-19 response fund in partnership with the Post and Courier and others. In those early days of uncertainty, we saw unemployment rise and many of our most vulnerable residents scramble for basic needs like food, health care, and housing. Trident United Way, its partners, and all of you stepped up in a big way. The COVID-19 Relief Fund raised and leveraged $1.1 million and supported an additional 25 partner agencies. In 2 months, that generosity superseded the amount of money raised for any single event in Trident United Way's history.
This spring, we remain optimistic that the variants of COVID-19 are receding and our economy is rebounding, but we're not out of the woods just yet. Housing prices are skyrocketing in all price categories. Low-income housing is at a premium, and rent in Charleston shot up 21% last year, further pinching those who face uncertainty.
The needs are certainly there, and we continue to need your generous support to meet them. The 211 helpline averages more than 1,000 calls a month from Tri-County residents with immediate needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's a record level number of calls. You can help provide hope and make sure that our economic recovery benefits every neighbor who needs us. We've only just begun our Forever United campaign, and we are delighted to have early supporters who have stepped forward to commemorate this milestone. You can see a list of those families and individuals on the screen now. Thank you for your leadership. There's still time to join us. If you have emerged from this uncertainty and are thriving now is the time to consider a gift above and beyond your regular commitment. There's a QR code located on the inside back cover of your program that you can scan into your phone. Or if you're like me and don't know the difference between a QR code and a Morse code, you can ask your table host for a form to make a gift. There are different giving options. You may choose to give for today or to invest in the Trident United Way's endowment, which will ensure sustainability for years to come. We thank you in advance for your continued investments that ensure progress for our community. Leadership is what our founders provided in 1944, and it's what we are called on to provide today. It's time to celebrate the difference that leadership makes possible. And now we're going to turn to Trident United Way's leader to tell you more about why naming life directors is so important. Please welcome Trident United Way President and CEO, Tonney. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, you're there. It is wonderful to see all of you. Thank you, Larry and Judy, for your enormous dedication and leadership. Today's celebration has really come to fruition because of the commitment of you and our incredible Forever United Committee. So I want to thank them one more time. And as we move into this part of the program, I also want to take the opportunity to introduce you to one more special friend who's an ancestor of one of our founders and is with us today from a long-standing, well-known Charleston family, and that is Dr. Holton Siegling, who is the pastor of First Scots Presbyterian Church. Thank you so much. How remarkable to consider the vast array of talent and championship and caring power of our community assembled in this room right now, today. Today, we honor those who have carried forward with zeal the work of Trident United Way, which is truly an American experiment in philanthropy that worked and is still working to this day for our community. Duty, honor, country. These words will forever evoke the World War II image of General Douglas MacArthur standing at a lectern at West Point. Today, duty, honor, community. We believe these will be the watchwords we all recall after our time together today. There are many forms of recognition for outstanding service to an institution or to a community. But the greatest recognition is that which comes from the deepest respect and admiration of true friends and colleagues. Those that we honor today embody the highest ideals of citizen leadership. Nella Barkley is the co-founder of Crystal Barkley Corporation, which devotes itself to teaching people and management how to make maximum use of their human resources. Talk about trailblazers. That word continues to come up today. Nella studied abroad in France after graduating from Sweetbriar and later completed the advanced management program at Harvard Business School. She's also written 2 books on career and leadership. In the early stages of Nella's career, she was leading during a time when few women held executive roles. And as with Wendy and as with Barbara, we owe a great debt of gratitude to Nella for her intentional, thoughtful, and entrepreneurial leadership that has steadied our community in challenging times and propelled it forward when opportunities knocked on our door. Nella's transformational roles in our community are many. Chief among them are her role as the first general manager of the Spoleto Festival, an opportunity that flourishes today because of Nella's early, thoughtful, and steady guidance. Decades later, the world still flocks to Charleston for this experience. Innovatively, Nella also initiated a center to rehabilitate, rather than institutionalize, youth in the care of our juvenile justice system. Later, she collaborated creatively with others to develop a low-income housing rehabilitation program for the city of Charleston, aptly demonstrating for others the art of the possible. Nella has served Trident United Way and our community as a member of our board of directors, chair of our campaign cabinet, our community impact council, our Women United Network, and as co-chair and committee member for our Tocqueville Society. She has received many notable awards, including the David H. Wilkins Award for Excellence in Civic Leadership, presented by the Riley Institute at Furman University, and our state's highest civilian honor, the Order of the Palmetto. Nella has an exacting sense about priorities and resources, both human and capital, and she works actively to connect both for the benefit of this community that we call home. Her willingness to engage in meaningful ways and to share her wise counsel are hallmarks of her commitment to serve and make life better for all. Nella is truly an inspiring innovator and leader, and we are honored to add to her extensive list of accolades today the title of Trident United Way Life Director. Please join us in honoring Nella Barkley.
Well, I will have to say I'm somewhat relieved to note that I'm not standing between you and your chicken. I find it remarkable to be here, particularly in the company of the other recipients. Congratulations to all of you. I'm honored to be part of your group. You know, what do you say when you have something like this happen to you? Imagine that you were in my shoes, as many of you could be. I suppose there's nothing other to say than thank you. But I would like to thank the many, many people while I have the opportunity who are on the front line of service. We don't know their names, many of them. I have always tended to work at a strategic level. Maybe I thought I could serve more people that way. But it's the people on the front line who really get things done. The people who read to a student, who help to make a financial plan, and all of you, of course, United Way staff, who get those volunteers out on the front line. The people who serve the meals, who slice the cucumbers, who delivered the meals. In the end, I think it's you who really count. I venture onto the front line once in a while, and it always feels good when I'm there, and I wish I'd done more of it. I thank you all for this honor. I am humbled by it, and I want you to know I'm not done yet.
Nella's a very remarkable lady, don't you think? Yes, yes. Thank you, Nella. Thank you, Nella. The next life director that I have the honor of introducing has a very personal connection to Trident United Way. Hugh Lane, Jr. is a fourth-generation banker who cast a vision for what is now the Bank of South Carolina, where he serves as chairman of the board. Philanthropy and service are also in Hugh's family tree. His father, Hugh Sr., was one of our founders who created the Charleston Community and War Chest back in 1944. Today, our Trident United Way. I believe that Hugh Sr. would be very proud of what he began in this bold experiment in philanthropy and the millions and millions of Low Country residents who have been impacted positively by it. We're reminded of the Lane family's abiding commitment to our community every day as we host members of our community for gatherings in the Lane family boardroom and the vital mission support generated by the Lane family's endowed funds. Hugh has been working with Trident United Way for his entire adult life, from serving as the chair of our campaign cabinet in 1980 to serving as board chair and almost every other position you can name. He's always said yes to serving others through his engagement with Trident United Way. There is a constant theme of stewardship and constancy of purpose in everything Hugh Lane does. The United Way baton was passed to him, and he most artfully passes it on to others. Hugh's passion for serving also goes beyond Trident United Way. He continues his family's legacy of conservation through his work in the Ace Basin. He's served on numerous boards, including Wofford College, Ashley Hall, the Charleston Museum, and Charleston County Conservation Bank Board, among others. Hugh's many recognitions also include the Order of the Palmetto, the Joseph P. Riley Leadership Award from the Charleston Chamber of Commerce, and his election to the South Carolina Business Hall of Fame. Today, we add another title to his distinguished list of accomplishments and acknowledgments. Life Director of Trident United Way. Please join me in welcoming Hugh Lane, Jr.
Chloe, thank you very much. It's an incredible honor to stand here among all of you wonderful volunteers that have done so much to improve our community over the years. Other than thank you, there's no way I can express my appreciation for this great honor, especially since my father was one of the original founders of this wonderful organization. When I think of Trident United Way, three pillars are leadership, volunteers, vision to meet the challenges ahead. Ever since I was an ensign in the Navy in 1970, I've volunteered, offered leadership, and hopefully helped shape a vision for the future. The strength of Trident United Way is our donors, and to have their support requires Trident United Way to be relevant. I'd like to thank the Bank of South Carolina employees for their incredible support since the bank's founding over 35 years ago. It is an honor to be recognized with my friends, Nella, Charles, and Anita. I think we all feel the same way. We should be honoring you for everything you do to make our community a better place. A heartfelt thank you.
Please, thank you, Hugh. Thank you, Nella. We want to move on with our program and recognize our next Life Director. Attorney Charles Patrick made his way to us from the upstate and has called Charleston home for now more than 40 years. More than 2 decades ago, Charles began his involvement with Trident United Way and over the years has thoughtfully informed our theory of change for effective community transformation. Beginning as a volunteer, he moved on to hold almost every position we can name in United Way, from committee and board member to board chair, Tocqueville committee chair, and many more. He has also served multiple terms on Trident United Way's Public Policy Council, and he continues that work to this very day. Charles Patrick is a distinguished litigator and champion for others, personally and professionally. Professionally, he has worked with others to architect legal strategies to hold tobacco companies responsible for the harm and healthcare costs brought about through the use of their products as intended. Charles's work to mitigate tobacco impact as the leading preventable cause of death, combined with his work in asbestos and other harmful materials, are among the most significant achievements in public health litigation in the United States of America. Further, these achievements have educated and informed both the legal community as well as the public writ large. Charles's leadership extends across the community, where he has served on the boards of the South Carolina chapter of the American Lung Association, the Gilliard Performance Hall Foundation, the Southern Environmental Law Center, Charleston Promise Neighborhood, and many other institutions. We are extremely grateful to Charles for the myriad ways in which he cares for the people and the institutions of our community. Please join me as we honor Trident United Way Life Director, Charles Patrick, Jr.
Well, it's great to have somebody from the CDC actually know your background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She knows epidemiology better than me, so, and most epidemiologists for that matter. Wow, this is pretty amazing. It's hard to believe that I'm in the same league as Hugh and Nella and Anita. I mean, this is just beyond my comprehension. It's like being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame with these people, and I don't even deserve to be on the same field. So I am extremely honored. They have been great friends and mentors and people just that I've worked with for so many years. So I was told to be brief, and I have a very, very brief United Way story. And since one of my mentors in the law, Judge Alex Sanders, always counseled me to never let facts get in the way of a good story, I've made some notes so I can keep my story straight. Back in early 2013, after I had been a member of the Trident United Way board for a few years, I got a call from our CEO, then at the time, Chris Kerrigan, who said that he and Hugh Lane wanted to have lunch with me. And by the way, beware when they ask you to lunch. Just something to know for the future. At the end of a very nice lunch, Chris asked me if I would chair the board. I was flattered and surprised, but I was a little concerned about the time commitment. However, Chris and Hugh both assured me that the amount of time that I would spend as board chair would not be as much as, or not be much more than I spent as a board member. I needed to be at the board meeting, which was like every other month, for an hour and a half, like on the clock, an hour and a half, and I had to be there at 8 a.m. on Rivers Avenue in North Charleston. But as a chair, I knew that there was a problem in that I couldn't accidentally sleep in and miss the meeting. I actually had to be there. But after fidgeting for a few minutes over lunch, I said yes. And this is from a guy who found the hardest part of being on the board was making it to Rivers Avenue by 8 a.m. But I figured if that was the hardest part, I could do it for a year. So fast forward about 2 months, I attended my first meeting of the Trident United Way Executive Committee, and I learned that it had been decided that it was time for Trident United Way to develop a new strategic plan. I said, great, and asked when that would be done. And I was told, Charles, you will be excited to know that it will be during your term as chair. They had already retained a consultant who I soon learned liked to start meetings at 7 a.m. and who liked to meet often and often on weekends and for hours. I had really worried what I got myself into. But all kidding aside, and now we're just going to go to the facts. The next 6 months of meetings and discussions was really one of the most memorable, immersive, productive, and rewarding experiences of my life. And for you guys out there that were on the Strategic and Planning Committee, you know how hard it was to, and how much, it really was a lot of fun to do all this work. I met new friends, and I strengthened relationships with old United Way friends, and I got to really know our incredible staff, who were all very excited to participate. They were really so enthusiastic that this was being done. And by the way, Trident United Way has the most incredible staff ever. So that's, we were talking about how they put this event together, and I know they've been doing it for two years now, but putting this event together and doing such an incredible job of it. And they do this on a day-to-day basis. And when you're in a board meeting, they have it timed down perfectly. I mean, they are amazing with all of their event planning and everything that is done at United Way. So after a lot of hard work and many hours together, and this is with a strategic plan, we developed a mission statement and a strategic plan that we still follow today. Very, very proud of that. The experience and outcome for the organization, they were all great. But the one who really benefited the most from this process, I think, was me. Because I got beyond that the scripted whatever, going to the board meeting, thinking that I would just, be there between 8 o'clock and 9:30 in the morning, and actually devote substantial and serious thought and time with friends of mine to put together a plan that really transformed United Way, and that we can still see our mission statement and vision statement on the wall is something that we have followed for the last 8 years. So I'm extraordinarily thankful that I participated. So I want to thank United Way, not only for this recognition, for the change it made in my life, and I thank all of you for supporting this incredible organization. Thank you very much. Drop. Celeste would be very mad.
I think it would be good. Thank you so much, Charles, not just for what you do, but how you do it and what you mean to us and to this community. Next, we introduce our fourth honoree, Anita Zucker. Anita is the daughter of Holocaust survivors, and this has greatly informed her passions for teaching and learning and sharing. She and her late husband, Jerry, came to the Charleston area in the late 1970s. Since then, they have literally touched every sector of our region to catalyze transformational levels of change through leadership, through engagement, and through philanthropy. Anita's keen interest and experience in education and health is perfectly aligned to the priorities of Trident United Way. Anita Zucker leads through far more than just her generosity. She leads through her actions, her innate business acumen, and her ability to spark innovation. While her profession has kept her busy, serving as the chair and CEO of the Intertech Group, her heart is firmly rooted in this community. Anita has been recognized with more than 40 leadership and service awards from distinguished groups across the Tri-County, from South Carolina, from across our nation. She holds honorary degrees from institutions of higher learning in both South Carolina and Florida. In 2019, she was awarded the Ernst & Young Lifetime Achievement Award. Anita is another of the rare individuals we honor today who has held every possible leadership position in Trident United Way, from campaign cabinet chair to public policy chair to leading the charge for our annual Day of Caring event, the largest volunteer force for good in the region. Somehow, she found time to serve as Trident United Way's board chair in 2002. And this year, she and the wonderful Bill Finn have teamed up to lead our Tocqueville Society again. Anita and her family are committed to the ongoing mission of our work through forward-thinking philanthropy and hands-on service. Her well-known embrace of a timeless tenet of Judaism, tikkun olam, is a demonstration by her of those acts of kindness that indeed repair our world. And if our world ever needed repair, today is the day that it is needed. Anita energetically works to teach others, to make our world better, and inspires all of us to do likewise. We are honored to welcome Trident United Way Life Director, Anita Zucker.
Of course, I have to lower the mic because I'm down here. First of all, let me just start by saying what a special honor and a special moment, and to be recognized with Nella and Charles and Hugh means so much. Actually, the four of us have worked together on probably everything in this community that could make a difference in United Way. We've worked really hard on education. We've worked at the Gilliard together, Nella and I, and we've just done a lot of projects together. And it's so amazing to be honored at the same time because of all of that. And I look around and I see Kathy Easley, and Kathy is really the longest standing United Way employee. Kathy, you are very special. And with this organization, I do have a couple of stories. I'll save them for a minute. But I've been a volunteer since the 1990s. And Jerry was a volunteer and served on the board during the 80s, so he had 2 terms. And it's amazing because this organization has always been a fit for the areas that are so important in this community and to me, as well as to our company. It's no secret that I'm a passionate person, perhaps relentless in the pursuit of a worthy endeavor. Education from cradle to career has always been a keynote for me. I'm passionate about creating access and opportunity for underserved students of all ages. Passionate about developing a world-class workforce desperately needed to support the growing business landscape throughout the Southeast, and passionate about also providing access to health care, financial stability, and allowing families and individuals to achieve more. And because of all of you and your willingness to volunteer and give, we're able to do these things. But I have 2 quick stories. One was before I chaired the Day of Caring. I was there, and I was with Chris Kerrigan. Actually, Ray Greenberg was the chair that year, and we had all been at the Embassy Suites at a breakfast. And then the breakfast adjourned, and Chris and I were meeting, and my phone rings, and it was Jerry calling me. He said, "Get a television, get to a TV right away." 9/11 happened on that day, and I will never forget. That day was the day that we were out doing good things in our community. So it really hit hard, and I even remember Jonathan and where you were and that you came home, because it just touched all of us so much, but it was also really special that I think about the impact that day has and how it's continued and it's grown and it's become bigger and better. And the impact this organization makes is so important. But that is kind of seared, in my memory that happened on that day. And then I had a title back in the day when I got involved and I chaired campaign. I'm not sure if any of you remember it, but there used to be a TV show about the Bionic Man. Well, I was the $6 million woman, okay? It was the first time we had achieved that goal, and I'm thankful to say that today we are achieving so much more, and that all means so much. And, time passes very quickly, but it's the importance of focusing our energy and our passion on the pursuit of our dreams, the pursuit of building a legacy and giving a piece of ourselves to our friends, our family, and the world around us. The reach of our branches depends entirely on the depth of our roots. And I'm proud of the roots my family and I have grown through our passions for education and improving the world. And thank you, Chloe, for mentioning Tikkun Olam. It seems like just a few years ago, my late husband, Jerry Zucker, began dreaming and planning for the future, laying the groundwork for our family business. As the footprint of our business expanded and our goals evolved, so did our understanding of the need to serve and the desire to leave an impression on the community around us. Throughout my personal and corporate families, and I'm thrilled that my other family and my personal family are all here, and Stephanie Henry, wherever you are, she is part of my corporate family as well. And it's just so good to have all of them with me because y'all all mean so much to me. Whether cleaning up schools or holiday shopping for needy families or walking or riding through our favorite causes, volunteering is a big part of our corporate and family lives, and it just feels good. Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. I view my role in philanthropy as an extension of my personal mission to leave the world in a better state than I found it. I'm honored to be here to share this exciting time with each of you. Trident United Way has been and will continue to be one of the organizations that matches our family's goals. And our success in business and as a nation requires the creation of a strong and healthy workforce prepared for the challenges ahead. It's for this reason that my family and my business have been investing in the Trident United Way for many, many, many years. Each of us has the ability to give our time, our talent, and our treasure. We are so proud of the work we're doing through our investments focusing on education, health, and financial stability at the Trident United Way. I want to thank you again for this incredible honor, and our work continues. That's the most important, and it's just wonderful to see all my friends out here. Thank you.
So what an extraordinary lunch opportunity we've had today. It's tough to follow Anita. It's tough to follow these life directors. It's tough to follow Barbara Melvin and Mayor Riley and Tim and Wendy. And I thank all of you for being with us, for leading the charge for this community, for Trident United Way. As we close today, I'd like to leave you with a thought from our friend Aristotle. And Aristotle said that dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in deserving them. I cannot think of a more worthy group to be named as our inaugural life directors. To each of our life directors, Nella, Hugh, Charles, Anita, we are grateful to you for being the role models that inspire each of us in greatness, the bold entrepreneurs and the passionate philanthropists, the visionaries with enormous hearts for people, diligent innovators driving good ideas to practice, and effective leaders offering a challenge but requiring excellence in meeting it. Duty, honor, community. Our life directors exemplify this highest calling to serve others, and in doing so, have changed the lives of millions and millions and millions of our neighbors. Now, I'm going to turn our program back over to Tim Grow, our board chair. Over to you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, everybody. I do want to say, Charles, I'm still learning. You know, I forgot, you don't take a job at Trident United Way for the money. I mean, you take it because you're making an impact on the community, and we have an extraordinary staff, and I thank them every day for what they do, and if we could give them one more round of applause. Anybody that volunteers know that it takes a commitment from family, it's an obligation of time, and every time I want to pat myself on the back for what I'm doing, I just got humbled today that I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. Thank you so much, our life directors. You've blazed a trail. I'll do my best. I'm in your shadow, so we'll do our best. As the Tarletons mentioned earlier, our spirit of service is what defines Trident United Way back in 1944. It's what fortifies us today and propels us into the future. Strength also means your continued financial support. You're here today because of your longtime commitment to our community. Thank you all for your time, service, and thought leadership. Your philanthropic support is valued and is making a major difference. With the influx of new residents in our region, chances are your social networks are growing, and there are maybe folks who not know of Trident United Way or the great work it does. So please spread the word, engage with others about why it's important to become involved and support the mission. Share with us your online social networks or with your companies. TUW.org, it's real easy to remember. Please pass that along to whoever's in need. The past couple of years have demonstrated why Trident United Way is so important now and into the future. Recently, our Resource Connection Centers helped 2 single mothers with their taxes. Imagine being a single mother and finding out that you're getting $10,000 back in taxes, how impactful that could be to you and your family. Success stories like that happen every day at Trident United Way. The staff receive heartfelt thank you notes from clients who are relieved to receive housing or utility assistance or access to benefits. Those notes often contain words like, "This is a gift from an angel," and "We can sleep better tonight." Your support makes those sentiments possible. You've touched the lives of people who may never meet you, but trust me, they are thankful. And I say that from a personal perspective. The symbol chosen for today's celebration was intentional. The oak tree is a symbol of our deep roots and strong core. New branches will form based on their strengths. Enduring Trident United Way is here today and always. We pushed forward during the pandemic and are well positioned to continue adapting to meet the changing needs of our community. Your service is truly an inspiration, and together let's remain united to make our common home in the Tri-County region an even better place for all. We are grateful that you've joined us today and for your partnership that unites our community to improve lives. Please share the excellent work of Trident United Way with others. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.